Thanks for tuning into Mirror Now. I'm Aarti Subramaniam. Lots lined up for you this afternoon, though let's start off by bringing you the latest updates from Parliament. Both houses have passed the bill to extend the tenure. Of course, a controversial move, something that the opposition has been questioning over several days, saying that it is violating the autonomy of these agencies. Okay, KP Singh, the former director of the CBI, also joins us this afternoon. Mr. Singh, good afternoon. Thanks so much for speaking to Mirror Now. The opposition's allegation is that this particular extension of tenure is going to grossly violate the independence of the two agencies. Would you concur with that, or do you think this in fact gives more of a stability to these agencies?
See, this was a proposal that we had given from the CBI about 10 years ago when the Lokpal bill was being prepared. But the government at that time did not agree to giving the CBI director a 5-year term, and they rejected that proposal. Now it has come, so it's a very welcome step because, our important cases carry on for some time. So to be in control, it's important that the director gets a proper tenure so that he can supervise and pursue these cases properly. Now, the only difference here is that we had suggested a fixed tenure of 5 years. So once you get a fixed tenure, there's a lot of stability in your tenure. But what they've done is they are giving it in a piecemeal basis. That means a year-by-year extension. So I don't think that is desirable. Otherwise, a 5-year tenure is very welcome.
Also been several questions raised about the independence of the CBI, of the Enforcement Directorate. These two agencies have come under criticism. There have been allegations that they've been used as political tools to settle scores. Again, is that something that you would concur with?
Well, I wouldn't say that, but yes, they can be misused. So more the reason that it should have been a fixed tenure. I would have suggested, and we had recommended also that you give the director a fixed tenure. And if you have to remove him for any reason, it should be done by that committee consisting of the Chief Justice, the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition. Even today, if you don't give him an extension, then it should go to that committee. It should not be that he is just, passed over and the government doesn't decide to give him an extension. If they're not giving him an extension, that matter should also go to this committee. Then I think it will be fair in that case.
Okay, Mr. Singh, thanks so much for speaking to Mirror Now. Appreciate you joining us. Both houses of Parliament have passed a controversial bill, in fact, to extend the tenure of both the directors of the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate to 5 years. Bhavtosh joins us for more. Bhavtosh, a controversial bill, as I was saying, that has come under opposition's criticism, saying that it, in fact, hits and it impacts the autonomy and independence of these agencies.
Yes, in fact, Aarti, this ordinance was brought in the first place by the government, claiming that that Parliament would not be functioning, and they feared that because of ruckus that was created last time around, they brought in the ordinance. Now, that was the argument given by the Minister of State, Dr. Singh, when the bill was being brought in the Lok Sabha. It was passed in the Lok Sabha by voice vote, and a similar thing happened in the Rajya Sabha. Now, the argument given by the government is that the tenure of CBI director as well as that of Enforcement Directorate cannot be limited to just 2 years because of sensitive and serious cases handled by the CBI as well as by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, the argument given by the opposition is that after 2 years, directorate would be at the whims and fancies of the government because extension will be given on a year-and-year basis. Now, it was in fact AP Singh, who was a former director of the CBI, who first mooted the proposal that director of CBI should be there for a minimum of 5 years. Now, he in fact moved this proposal before a select panel of the government, before the Lok Sabha, in fact, and this proposal was in fact rejected by the select panel in the parliament. Now, government on its part have said that 1 year extension has been given primarily because they want to see whether the director deserves extension or not. Now, opposition on its part have said that because director would be at the whims and fancy of the government, it virtually means that the director as well as the agency itself would be mere puppet in the hands of the government.
Okay, Bhavtosh, thanks so much for bringing us those details. Bhavtosh explaining to us the controversy surrounding that bill. Okay, switching gears to a big story from sports. And is there a rift between Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma? Well, that debate, that rumor, that speculation has been revived once again. And this comes as there are several questions over this